Animal Consciousness. This is a special presentation by Feed the Minds.
Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. Albert Einstein.
Animal Consciousness.
Animal Acres is a farmed animal sanctuary and compassionate living center just outside Los Angeles. They rescue farmed animals and educate the public about loving them.
So welcome to Animal Acres.
Founded by Animal Ambassador Lorri Houston in 2005, she has saved thousands of animals and welcomed thousands of sanctuary visitors.
Animal Acres is a Los Angeles farm animal sanctuary and compassionate learning center. We're trying to teach the public that farm animals are animals. They have feelings too. A cow or a pig or a chicken feels pain or comfort or joy or sorrow just like a dog or cat or you and I. And it is vital that we recognize that farm animals are animals so that we can treat them humanely. Most Americans don't know that to produce eggs, hens are put 4 to 5 in a cage the size of a folded newspaper. I mean, these poor animals can't even walk or turn around or lift their wings, and they stay in these cages in this intensive confinement for up to 2 years. They chop off their beaks because and they do that again without anesthesia. It's like, chopping off your fingertip. The beaks never grow back. And they do these mutilations so that they can cram more hens in a cage and they don't peck each other in agitation. Rather than reduce the crowding, they just chop off their beaks. And you see this over and over in the food animal industry, trying to make animals conform to the most cruel, unnatural conditions. The good news is that as Americans find out how farmed animals are raised, they are appalled and they're against it, and they're voting to ban cruel factory farm practices. I have to believe that once their eyes are open to the fact that a hamburger is a cow, or to eat an egg, a chicken, had to be raised in not necessarily kind conditions, even free range, are very cruel. That I think that when people open their eyes to that, hopefully they'll start to see that they are animals, and then they'll want to ultimately make the choice to save them and not harm them by going vegetarian or preferably vegan. First off, we should be leaving most of the horses that are slaughtered alone. And that's because our government, with our tax dollars, rounds up thousands and thousands of wild horses from the federal land. It's called the Bureau of Land Management, and they've had this burro horse adoption program, which is anything but an adoption program, for years. They claim they're rescuing the wild horses and burros from starving. The truth of the matter is, it's so that the cattle industry can have cheap sources of grazing land for beef. For every one wild horse, it's estimated there are 100 cattle on these public lands. So the first step towards eliminating the horse overpopulation problem, if you want to call it that, is to leave the wild horses and burros alone. Secondly, we need to educate people. If you are going to have a companion horse, you need to make a commitment to that animal for his or her natural life. Not when the animal can no longer be ridden or is no longer, racing as fast as he or she could. We don't discard old people and send them to slaughter. We shouldn't be doing it with horses either. So we really need to, again, look at our use of animals. And unfortunately, when there's use, there's often abuse. You know, when I was 16, I woke up and said, gosh, you know, I love animals. If I love animals, why am I eating them? And it never occurred to me, you know, that a cow was a living creature, a living, feeling animal. And that's the point of places like Animal Acres, is to give people that one-on-one contact. And we need to look at them as living, sentient beings, not breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
We cannot help people unless people connect with us. And today is a very special day because every single one of you is already part of the solution. You're helping us help more animals. So this is a great day for celebration, so thank you. So come on in.
Animal Acres is a volunteer-based organization and has a dedicated staff.
Every single animal in here has been rescued. There they go, they're telling you. Oh, I love this. I love it. All have been rescued from cruelty cases, so every single one of them has a background. We have given them a chance to come here to Animal Acres to flourish, to not just be a number or a property, but to be an individual. So every single one of them has a name, every single one of them has a personality, and we're trying to make the connection for people to see that farm animals are no different than the dogs and the cats that we introduce into our homes. That they need the love and the care and a chance to be happy. So every single one of these has a chance for a second life, second chance of happiness.
One example of the many experiences I've had that where animals were my spiritual teachers was little Collin. He was a little goat that had been abandoned in a canyon here in the Los Angeles area with both of his ears cut off. And you know, he had suffered so much, and yet when this little guy came to us, his forgiving nature was like nothing I'd ever seen. I don't think that most humans could have forgiven so easily, and he just constantly gave his love to us. You know, and remember, humans had only taken him away from his mother. He was a little male goat, so he was taken away from his mother when he was born, taken to some auction, and then somebody grabbed him and threw him, you know, tortured him, and then abandoned him, and yet he showed so much love, and he was so sweet. You know, I truly believe that once people give a pig a belly rub, or look into a turkey's eyes, or give a cow a scratch on the chin, that they will see that behind those beautiful eyes, when they look into the eye of a cow or a pig or chicken, they'll see the being, they'll see the individual that is there. And I don't think they're going to want to harm that individual any more than they would want to eat a dog or a cat.
Through one-on-one interactions, people are able to get up close and touch the animals. Lorri Houston is a special person, teaching compassion and giving hope to all creatures, especially farmed animals.
Animal consciousness.
Animal consciousness. People helping animals, people helping the planet.
Animal consciousness. This is a special presentation by Feed the Minds.